So we're gonna pick up exactly where we left off in part 1. Forget all the introduction. We ain't got time for that. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Since I got the whopping, I got me a cool nurse thing. She went to whipping it, had to tell her little baby, I'm proud of you. Flush your bank account without a
I worked all throughout the summer. Then I came back to school sophomore year. And let's just say your girl changed just a little bit, okay? Them A's that was across the board kind of turned into like B's and C's and a couple of W's because I had to drop a few, okay? Your girl wasn't the same, okay? And then I was hanging out a little bit more. You know, I enjoyed my sophomore year. And then towards the end, towards the second semester of sophomore year, I didn't like being broke no more. I had to get a job. I really got a job my sophomore year. And this starts my like trends of all my various jobs. Like, y'all, if I had to count up how many jobs I've had in my lifetime, it'll probably be like over 20. Like, your girl kept the job. Like, after I got my first job in like college, I kept the job, okay? So my first job my sophomore year was off campus. It was at the mall. It was at Sears. I know, Sears. Who shopped at Sears? But they used to, like, they had like no help really. And so they kept me on the schedule. Like, I was working like full time and going to school, and that was a problem, honestly. And now the end of your sophomore year, that's when you theoretically are supposed to be applying to someone's nursing program. But I already knew that I was never going to apply like my sophomore year because when I graduated high school, I did well overall on my ACTs. However, it was the math segment I did poor. Like, y'all, my number was so low. So because of that, I had to take basic algebra, then I had to take intermediate algebra. And I could have like tried to test out of them, but I was just so lazy. I didn't even like look into that. So I had to take basic algebra, intermediate algebra, and then college algebra. And in order to take some of my prerequisite classes for nursing, like a lot of nursing classes, they require you to have like all of your gen eds completed in addition to certain prerequisite classes. And at Missouri Southern State University, they had 6 prerequisite nursing classes, and you had to take chemistry, microbiology, pathophysiology, anatomy 1, anatomy 2, anatomy and physiology 1, anatomy and physiology 2, and you had to take like nutrition and statistics. I had 7 classes, I believe. So yeah. So because I had to take the basic math classes, it put me kind of behind because I couldn't take chemistry until I took college algebra, and then I couldn't take microbiology until I took chemistry. It was just like a lot. So I already knew that I wasn't applying my sophomore year. And for the people who think that college is a timeline and you have to graduate in 4 years, or I don't understand that. I never was like on that thing. I always wanted to graduate in a decent amount of time, but I did not care if I don't care if I got my degree in 4 years or 4.5 years. As long as I got my degree in something that was going to give me a really good career, I really didn't mind. But I know a lot of people get fixated on that, and I'm here to tell you, don't. If you don't take anything else from this long nursing journey, just know time is on your side. Like, time is on your side. Either you're gonna do it or you're not, okay? So moving on. So sophomore year, I got a job. I was working. The grades weren't as hot. I didn't apply for a nursing program my sophomore year. I knew I was gonna do it at the end of my junior year, so that's what I did. So at the end of my sophomore year, I decided to stay in Joplin, which was a bad decision. But I decided to stay in Joplin. I got like a terrible apartment because it was so last minute that I wanted to stay there. I worked like nobody's business that summer because all of my scholarships that I got freshman year were gone by sophomore year. So a lot of my classes that I got sophomore year, I had to take out loans, y'all, real life loans. And I told myself, junior year, I wasn't going to take out as many loans, so I wanted to work and pay for my classes out of pocket. It didn't happen, y'all. I worked like a dog for no reason and still took out a lot of loans. Don't be like me. Be better than me. Anyway, so that summer, I got an apartment off campus. I was working 3 jobs. 1, 2, 3. When I tell y'all, I used to work at Ross during the day. I was working at Walmart overnight, and then I started working at a call center too. When I say I was working like 90 hours at least a week, I didn't sleep. And then, mind you, I moved off campus as well because, I mean, it was the summertime anyway. You couldn't really stay on campus, but I didn't have a car. So I was using like my roommate's car, and like we was bouncing back and forth, and then I was like walking sometimes. It was just, I was living the struggle, okay? And then like everything was fine until I wrecked my roommate's car. Like I was really saving too, like to make sure I could pay for my classes, you know, a decent amount of my classes out of pocket. And then I wrecked my roommate's car, so then I had to pay like $2,000 to get their car fixed. And then at that point I was like, forget it. I took $1,000 and I went and got my own car with $1,000, and I had got me a 2013 Kia Rio. It only had like 15,000 miles on it at the time, and y'all, I love the Fiona. I named her Fiona. I loved her. She was amazing. When I thought I got her, I was like rolling, like, oh my god, girl, you need a ride? Okay, I got you, girl, because you know I thought I was really hot at that point. So I got my car and still was working. Like I was working at least 40 hours a week at Walmart. I worked as a cashier, and fast forward, I'm into my junior year of college, my third year in college, and I was still taking like some of my prerequisite classes, but I was doing well in them at this point. So I knew that I was going to be applying for the nursing school program like soon. So this is the day I applied, and that was my friend Ashley at the time. Hey, we was applying at the same time. So yeah, but I mean, my grades were decent. I just knew my focus wasn't the best though. So for some odd reason, I made a split decision. Like right after I applied for the program, I told myself, like, no matter if I get accepted or not, I need to move back home. I need to go back to St. Louis because I know that I will fail out of this nursing school program if I stay here because it's too many distractions. That's what I did. I remember after my third year of college at Missouri Southern State University, I looked up nursing programs like in St. Louis, and there is a plethora in St. Louis. I came across the University of Missouri St. Louis, UMSL, and I remember talking to the nursing advisor like every single day. I was like, hey, my name is Aria. I got 3 years of schooling. I got X amount of credits. I've taken X, Y, and Z courses. I see that your program requires this. Do I still need to take these courses, or will I be able to apply for your nursing program? Is it too late to apply for your program? Like, I was asking all types of questions. And they told me at first, they were like, yeah, it's no problem. Don't worry about those courses. Yeah. You can still apply to get into our nursing program. Don't worry. So I didn't worry. So that whole summer, when I moved back to St. Louis from Joplin, the summer of 2017, I just worked. Again, y'all, I was working 3 jobs again because I didn't want to take out any more loans, because I ended up taking loans out that third year. After I said I wasn't, I still ended up taking a lot of loans out. So going into school, so my senior year, my fourth year, transferring to UMSL, I was like, I'm not taking out any more loans. I'm going to work. So I was working. I was working at Whole Foods. I would work Whole Foods from 2 to 10. Then I would go work at Walmart from 10:30 to 7. Crazy, right? Your girl was only running off of like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And I was supposed to be saving, but some odd reason, like, it's like when you plan on saving, like your money just goes, like stuff pops up out of nowhere. So I was supposed to be saving. I don't know if I really saved because I remember like taking out loans too when I went to UMSL. But anyway, so that's what I did that whole entire summer. Then come August, I was like, okay, I'm ready to apply to your nursing program. Like where's the application? I'm ready to apply. And then they hit me with oh, you do have to take some more prerequisite courses. Our program requires nursing students to take, I think it was lifetime development, sociology, bioethics, and then they wanted me to repeat my anatomy and physiology 2 class. Even though I passed it back at Missouri Southern State, they wanted me to retake it. And then there was something else they wanted me to take. And they told me all of this like 2 weeks before the semester started. I was so hurt and discouraged because I thought finally I was going to start a nursing program. Like, finally, this is it. Like, yes, like, I'm ready. And when they told me that, I was sad. But, I mean, I had no choice. So, I did what I had to do. They told me those were the courses I needed to take. I enrolled in those courses and I was taking them. And so then I finished that semester off really well. Like, I was focused. I was in my zone. Like, when I moved back home, it helped me so much. Like, I was able to, like, I was having my study time. I was still working. I was paying, like, little bills, like, you know, at home just because. But I was really in my element when I moved home. Like, my grades were, like, my grades in that first semester at UMSL looked like my grades did my first year at Missouri Southern. Like, it looked really good. I was really proud of myself. So, of course, when I applied to the nursing program at the University of Missouri, St. Louis, UMSL, I got accepted. And then I was excited. I was looking forward to it. And then that program was 2.5 years. And I was like, what? Like, it's fall 2017, and you're telling me my expected graduation is May 2020? What? Like, I was like, no. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So it was in that moment I was like, because I was so ready to be a nurse. Like, I was so ready to get into my career. I was tired of working all these 3 jobs here and all this other stuff. I was so ready, y'all. Like, so ready. So it was at that moment I started looking at other programs. Again, looking at other programs, and I came across this diploma program. And literally, Google, y'all. Google is the reason I got my degree, okay? Because I Googled this school. I found this school program, like, you know, tell me some more about it. And she was like, oh yeah, it's just a accelerated 18-month diploma program. You don't get your, like, bachelor's in nursing in it. You get your diploma, which is equivalent to associates in nursing. So you still get your RN, but, you know, eventually you'll have to go back to a bachelor's program. And I said, oh, word, like, sign me up. So that next, like, day or so, I literally, and I was so happy because that diploma program worked so fast. Like, mind you, this was December when I was applying to the program. So I applied to the program in December. I talked to them. They were all really helpful. They was all really on their game. I applied for their program in December. By January, they told me they had a seat. Classes started January 8th. I paid all my money. I was good. So I started my official nursing, like, journey. Your girl is a nursing student. I got pictures in my scripts because I was so happy. I started January 8th, 2018. Like, this is when my life started turning around, okay? Like, I was so happy to be in a nursing program. I was so happy to post my pictures in my scrubs. I was just, life was good, okay? So I started that program, and your girl still had bills, so I still had to work. At that time I was working at a preschool. I would work classes in nursing school, especially at the accelerated program. I would be in class, like, typically like let's say from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock every day, except on the days I had clinicals. Those days would be from 7 a.m. theoretically to 7 p.m. Now, we wasn't there all the time to 7 p.m. but that's what their schedule would say. So I would get out of class around like 2, 3 o'clock, and then I would go work at the preschool from like 3 o'clock to like 7 o'clock. I would work that Monday through Fridays, and then on the weekends I would work at American Eagle. I got to sell, like, jeans. American Eagle still to this day was like one of my favorite jobs. Like, it was fun. Like, it's like you got paid. They pay pretty good by the hour. It's like you got paid to show up and have fun. Like, that's all we did. I did that for the first, like, 8 months of my nursing school journey. Like, I did that. I used to work, and I used to, like, squeeze in studying in between, because in nursing school you have a test every single day. Like, they do not let up, okay? They do not care. Like, and you're like, wow, ma'am, like, you're like, I understand you're my adult health teacher, but you're also my pharmacology teacher. You know we have a test tomorrow. You know. And they didn't care. They didn't care. So yeah. So I used to work. I didn't sleep. I didn't see my family. When I was in nursing school, like, I was really focusing because I knew what my goal was at the end. So I did those jobs for the first, like, 8 months of my nursing journey. Then for the last 10 months, that's when school I felt like was getting a little bit harder and clinicals were becoming more challenging because we were doing different like rotations, and I felt like I wasn't on the same level as my peers, like, and I didn't like that because I always pushed myself in school, like especially nursing school, like I wanted to be up there. So when I felt like I wasn't up there, I decided to start working as a student nurse tech. I worked as a student nurse tech at a local hospital, and honestly, all it did was benefit me. I improved so much as a nursing student, and even to this day, I think working as a tech helped me as a registered nurse. Honestly, when I worked as a student nurse tech, nurses were so eager to teach me. They used to always quiz me and try to test me on my knowledge. And honestly, it only benefited me. I remember I would like show up to a division and nurses would call my name and be like, Area, come watch me put in an NG tube. Area, come watch me take out a Foley. Area, come watch me titrate a drip. You know, anything. Like, it was amazing. And it was honestly really great to have that hands-on experience. Like, I mean, you know, it may sound crazy, but I've seen a patient pass out because when I was a tech, I've seen codes be called, you know, when I was a tech. I've seen so many different things happen when I was a tech. And I think for new nurses that never have those experiences when they're like, you know, because they don't have that tech experience, it shows. Like, you can honestly see the difference between nurses who worked as a tech or a CNA before nursing and nurses that literally worked at a retail shop and decided to go to a nursing program and graduate. Like, you know, you can honestly see it in the type of skills and the type of care they have. So, going forward, I graduated nursing school in July of 2019. I sat for boards in August of 2019. Before I sat for boards, I was able to work as a graduate nurse. And that's basically, many states allow students to, after they complete a nursing program, they have a grace period in which they can work as a nurse and get paid the nurse salary until they actually become registered. So that's what I did. While I was working as a nurse, I worked on a cardiopulmonary, cardiovascular division. If you know me, you know the heart and lungs was always my niche. I always wanted to go into that type of area because I love the circulatory system. I loved heart valves. I loved arteries. I loved learning about different diseases and complications and the medications. I loved everything about the heart and lungs. So I did that for about 13 months. Towards the tail end of my first year of nursing, my division began to switch its focus. It wasn't a strict heart and lung floor anymore. It became like a critical COVID floor. And that's when I decided to switch avenues in nursing. I couldn't take taking care of the critical ill COVID patients anymore. Patients were dying every single day when I came to work. And honestly, it was taking a toll on me mentally. So I switched gears and I went into dialysis nursing. I love dialysis nursing. Like, guys, I started doing dialysis nursing September of 2020. And honestly, the connections that I've built with some of my patients, I love it. Like, I love being able to educate. I love being able to like know their story, know their background, and things like that. It's completely different from bedside nursing. So I started doing dialysis nursing. I'm still doing that. However, I am going to completely return back to bedside nursing. So if you guys aren't familiar, we're in the second wave of COVID. And because of that, nurses are in demand right now. We need nurses more than ever right now. And they are paying a lot for these nurses at the hospitals. So I've been like working a little bit more at the hospitals because they're paying me like 3 to 4 times more as much as I was making before I left. So that's what I've been doing. The pay and everything that I'm getting like at the hospitals is completely temporary. I don't want anyone to watch this and be like, you know, I gotta go into nursing because I hear they're making X amount. No, it's completely temporary, and I'm only working at PRN, which means I get no benefits, guys. I get no benefits whatsoever. But I'm only doing it because I'm still on my mom's health insurance, so I really don't need health benefits like I need my own health benefits because I'm still being carried in my mom's. So I'm doing this temporarily just so I can save. So after all of that, I think that's basically my nursing journey in a nutshell. I know it sounds really complicated. I know it's all over the place, guys, but I mean, hey, that's what got me here. I'm 24. I've been a registered nurse for almost 2 years now. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's almost been 2 years. And it's been a lot getting here. If I can redo my nursing journey, guys, if I can just redo it, I wish I would have went to a community college like straight out of high school. Like I should have did that. I should have took my gen eds and prerequisites and stuff at a community college, got my associates in nursing, then worked at a hospital as a registered nurse, and then let them pay for my bachelor's. Like they pay, they pay for your bachelor's now. There is no difference between associates in nursing and bachelor's in nursing. A RN is a RN. Hospitals don't even pay you a difference for them, honestly, because it's nothing. Once you're a registered nurse, that title cannot be taken. That title cannot be changed. And a lot of hospitals only push for nurses to have their bachelor's because it looks a bit better for the hospital. Hospitals can call themselves magnet hospitals, and they get more money when their nurses have bachelor's degrees versus an associate's. That's all. But if you set for associates or you set for a bachelor's, you still took the same board. Like there's no different test. We both set for the NCLEX. It's all the same. So that's the only thing I would change. Like that's the only thing. I did enjoy going off to college though. I met some really great friends. I don't take away my experience, but I wouldn't have had the loans that I took out, y'all. I took out some loans. I told you guys, I took out loans to pay for a certain amount of classes. And if I went to a community college, I wouldn't have had to pay that amount for, the classes I took, but it is what it is. Another thing, I was always mindful of my credit though, even though I told you I started taking out loans my sophomore year, because remember my first year, everything was paid for. I didn't have to take out any loans. My second year, third year, fourth year, your girl took out some loans, but I was always mindful. I was always mindful of every single loan I took out, like all the subsidized, unsubsidized. I was always mindful about the amount. I paid really good attention to my credit all throughout college. After college, always paid attention to my credit. And so after my first year of nursing, I told myself I was going to buy me a luxury car, which I did, guys. And my credit score was in the 800s when I went and got my luxury car. And I didn't put a dollar or a cent down, guys. I didn't put anything down. And I remember after they ran my credit score, they were like, you can have any car you want on this lot. And I was like, what? But of course, they didn't really, of course I wasn't going to do that because I know them payments was going to be probably ridiculous. So I got me a nice little affordable car with a nice little affordable payment. But I didn't pay anything, guys. And I do not have an interest or anything like that. It's 0% APR, everything. Because I stayed mindful to my credit. And I want you guys to do that too, okay? So, anyway. But anyway, if you go into nursing though, a lot of these hospitals, they're going to help pay back some of your student loans. So that's something always to keep in mind as well. As far as me, I got my RN license, finished my bachelor's. I'm working on my master's. I want to go and get my master's. I want to go as far as I can with my nursing education. Eventually, I see myself being like a nurse educator. Like I really want to teach, but that's kind of like later on in life. In the next couple of months, I see myself doing travel nursing. I really want to do travel nursing. Travel nurses make money, y'all. Y'all think nursing make money? That is where the money is at. Travel. They make so much money, and they get to go to so many different cities, so many different towns, all paid for, all expenses covered, housing covered, travel fees covered. Beautiful. So that's kind of like where I want to go into. And other than that, your girl's just living her life. 24. Trying to live life, trying to have a little bit of fun. Not too much fun because we're still in a pandemic, y'all. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you stay 6 feet. Make sure you get vaccinated if you can. And make sure you stay safe. I love you guys so much. Can't wait to see you in my next video. Make sure you subscribe, okay? Subscribe, like, share. Bye, guys. Love you. Mwah.
I got me a cool nurse thing. She went to whipping it, had to tell her little baby I'm proud of you. Flood your bank account with all the salary.